All right, guys, how's it going? This is going to be a review of Ondo. Before we get into it, this is a disclaimer. Pause the video and read it. I'm not a financial advisor. Investing in crypto is risky. You can lose all of your money. Um, okay, so about Ondo, let's talk about some real world assets that currently are being tokenized. So, this idea that you could take something like US Treasury bills and you could tokenize them, or you could tokenize real estate. There's talk of tokenizing stocks and ETFs. So you could essentially own the stock or ETF in your wallet, just like you do crypto. Also, private credit, commodities, art. We've seen that in the form of like NFTs. And finally, there's talk about intellectual property. Ondo specifically, and we're going to talk about it here, is focused on the US Treasuries, the T bills, as well as the stocks and ETFs. So it seems like that's where the majority of their focus is coming from. And we can just go on down from their website. Here are just a couple of options that they provide. One is this USDY, which offers a 4.29% um, percent yield, APY. But notice it's not for US customers yet. Neither is the bottom one. And I clicked through on the website, and actually, it doesn't look like most of these are available to US customers yet. But this is a huge deal because it was maybe a couple years ago, a family member of mine um, wanted to make some passive income or some yield on some cash they had, and they actually locked it in a CD for 2 years in order to get 4%. And the way, from what I've read, is one of these, you can actually just let it sit in your wallet and you get yield on it, and it's not locked away, which is actually incredible. And it all works off of US Treasuries. So, US Treasuries is you're essentially buying the US government's debt, and it's considered to be one of the safest investments there is, because once again the U.S. can always just print more money. So this is one of the things that really stuck out to me on their site. Another thing that really jumped out to me was the fact that I did not realize this. It looks like they already offer Tesla stock, Nvidia stock, S&P 500 ETF, and these different things on their site already. I just am not able to access it from my computer. When I even tried connecting through a VPN, and somehow it still knew I was in the US. So this is super awesome. They've already got this set up. I think the only thing missing here is onboarding US customers. So that's what we'll talk about next. It's like, what about the US markets? What are they doing? I researched this, and just on July 4th of this year, so like 6 days ago, 7 days ago, they acquired a company called Oasis Pro. And looking at their stuff a little bit more, they're an SEC registered broker dealer. And it looks like this gives them the tools and the capability to bring these under regulation, because like when it comes to stocks and all that, it's heavily regulated. And I think by them acquiring this company, this is the direction they're heading. They're heading to being, well, within all the regulations, and everything is good. So furthermore, what it means for U.S. customers. Ondo can now legally offer tokenized securities with regulated insurance, custody, and trading via Oasis Pro licenses. So this is super cool. I expect this is going to start playing out here within the next 3 to 6 months. We're going to start seeing people walking around, and instead of them showing you their latest cryptos in their wallet, they're showing you their Tesla stock or Nvidia stock sitting right there in the same wallet that Bitcoin's sitting in, which would be crazy. So I want to take this minute to see what Wall Street thinks about this. So specifically, I want to hear from Larry Fink from BlackRock. So I'll just stop the video here and we'll listen to that.
Are you fascinated by this, by the way? Just the whole phenomenon?
No, I'm not.
You're not?
As a huge believer of crypto and blockchain and tokenization, I want the SEC to rapidly approve the tokenization of bonds and stocks. That will simplify things, make things easier. Some of the tax on BlackRock would never have to vote on a proxy vote anymore because every owner of record would be notified through a tokenization of equities. And it would save more money for more people. It would bring down the cost of ownership of stock and bonds. So those are the type of financial reforms we need.
Right.
All right, guys. So, yep, you heard him there saying this is the type of reform we need to lower the cost. And it sounds like this is something that he wants, and that's BlackRock. So that's good. Let's review the charts. So just as we get into this, the current market cap of Ondo is 2.8 billion and the fully diluted value is 4.4 billion, which puts this in the large cap area. So we can see here, this is the all-time chart. So coming out in January, we had just pretty much a straight run up to 1.45 cents. And then had another run up to $2 most recently. And if we look at the market cap, peak market cap was around 4.6 billion. All right, so let's jump over to more of a technical chart. You can see we've kind of respected this area down here. In this area, it seems like this is the most local support area here. Well, if I could get this to work. Okay. So that's down at 60 cents. And so far, ever since the December hype wave, we've consistently been trending down, forming lower high after lower high. And now that Bitcoin and hopefully Ethereum here to break out soon, maybe we can see overcoming this next big resistance of $1.11 to 13 cents. That would be huge. That would signal a trend reversal over this 7th month, what you could call downtrend. So that's what I'm looking at there. If we continue on, looking at unlock schedule, you can see that there are multiple unlocks going on. So we got this one, which is linear for 5 years, then this one for 3, and this one for 3. And so we're going to continue to have these unlocks, which are consistent. They're not going to come in one burst, but they're going to be consistently unlocking over time. But I think the good thing about that is, while I don't like how the unlocks are coming, it is good that they're not coming in large lump sums. They're all linear vests. So what's my price prediction? Well, Uniswap hit a market cap of 20 billion at its peak. I see Ondo doing this, which would be a price of $4.50. That would be without Wall Street hype. I see it as going as high as $8. All right, guys, that pretty much wraps up what I wanted to say about Ondo, what I'm looking at. I'll mention that it is 20% of my portfolio, and at a 5x increase, which is what I'm planning on, it would go from being a 20% portion of my portfolio, but it would make up, it would essentially become 5 times that or 100%. So my current portfolio value at the end when I go to sell. I'm looking at this for a longer hold than I am other tokens and coins, mainly because of the long-term potential. For instance, if we do start tokenizing stocks and they can actually get this released to US customers, I see this as something that could potentially take a while to reach maturity where I would feel comfortable selling. Um, if we shoot from here to $3 tomorrow, I might take a little bit off the table, but I see the potential for this project as being much bigger. Probably going to be one of my longer holds. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. See you.